Democrats deny the 2004 elections. Every election, Democrats don't win. They kick and stamp their feet. They sit there and they say it's stolen. They say we need to pack the Supreme Court, make Puerto Rico and D.C. a state, make sure that other voters are disenfranchised, give citizenship to illegal aliens, making sure Americans' votes counts for less. They don't listen. If you're going to care, I care about democracy. I care about democracy.
You don't care much.
I care about keeping it. Yeah, I do clearly because I support Stacey Abrams.
Hold on a second.
Ryan, they don't march in D.C., Ryan. Like, that's the difference, right? Like, you're pointing to, I agree with you. Hillary Clinton said that. Stacey Abrams said that. You know what they didn't do? They didn't organize a rally. They didn't tweet about it. Peter Navarro didn't tweet about it. They didn't have all of these other subsidiary people organize an event. Like, look, this is not rocket science. It happened. The revolution was televised. We all saw it that day of what happened. Like, I agree with you that the American people want to move on from that. But if you can't acknowledge that it happened, how can we move on from something? If you can't meet me in the middle of the sky and the sun is yellow, how are we supposed to have a conversation?
I completely agree with you. January 6th was horrible and it was disgusting. Nonetheless, and yet still, if you care about the institution of democracy, Democrats have been disenfranchising it for 20 years since the Bush election.
That's a complete lie.
They said Ohio was stolen in 2004.
When you get finished with your talking point.
Hold on. Don't talk over each other. Van, finish your point. Go ahead.
You're letting him ramble on with these talking points that you could pull out of a Cracker Jack box. Listen, if you're serious about democracy, you cannot try to normalize what Donald Trump did. Listen, yes, you have spoiled brats and sore losers after every Little League game. That's not what we're talking about. Yes, there have been Democrats who were unhappy with the Supreme Court giving 2000 to W. What we've always had, though, is something called a concession speech. That's the key. The key in our country is that when all of the processes are done, when the Supreme Court has made its final decision, when the final votes have been tallied and they've been affirmed, when the Congress has acted, at some point there's something called the concession speech. And the fact that we never got a concession speech from Donald Trump, and may not this time, is what puts the whole republic at risk. And you cannot normalize the refusal to give a concession speech, which Hillary Clinton did do, grumpy perhaps, unhappy perhaps, but she gave the concession speech. She did not organize a riot. Everybody that you just mentioned gave a concession speech. Donald Trump has never conceded. He continues to whip up the American people. He continues to try to undermine our democracy, and he organized an insurrection. That cannot be normalized. And all the talking points that the right wing throws out there about this person complained about this election, and Stacey Abrams, said something that was, unwelcome or ungenerous. That does not excuse what Donald Trump has done and is doing to our country.
Well, I wanted to be clear one thing, just so because I know the audience is just seeing. We had three people, in addition to myself, on the screen. Ryan is no longer on. Did Ryan drop from the conversation, or he inadvertently dropped from the conversation? Do we have? It was a technical issue. Okay, I just want to make sure everyone knows he was not intentional. We did not drop him from the conversation. Okay, everyone. So don't get at me on this.
Don't put that out there.
But I will just say, I'm just saying, don't even start with me. Okay.
He'll be back tomorrow.
But I will tell you this. It is very difficult for the American electorate as a whole to ignore the fact that that question about the peaceful condition of power is still out there. Why? Because there's not the same running mate next to Donald Trump any longer, right? His name is not Mike Pence. Right. It's now J.D. Vance.